nice to finally connect with you. I mean, I'm really grateful for the female leaders collaborating group we have through the SFM. And yeah, just to start off, Chris and Trish, is it Trish or Trisha? I'm not sure I say it right.
Trish is
Trish.
great. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I'd love to know a little bit more about, how you found SFM and, your journey up until now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hi, Joanne. It's lovely to meet you too, all the way over in Canada.
Yes.
In Australia. Yeah, actually, going back about 18 months ago, I started looking for something around website building and technical area because I was quite interested in that. And what I actually found was some accredited education for myself, but it was going to cost me about $5,000 or $6,000. It was going to take 2 years to get accredited. And I thought, 2 years, that's a long time. Maybe I'll just hold off and just wait and see what happens. And then I actually came across the video series with Stu telling me all about online platforms and businesses, and it just sparked my interest immediately. And so I signed up, obviously, and that's all history. But I went, straight through. I didn't even question it. And it's been a fantastic journey. And Trish was over in America. She was having a 5-month stint over in America doing her real estate investment business over there. Yeah. And when she came back, I was so excited, and I thought, oh, she's going to really love this. We could, do something with this. And I couldn't explain it, and she didn't understand it. So it was really, really quite funny because I was so excited and I couldn't even explain what it was that I was excited about. But anyway, going forward, probably 6 months from there, we actually took Trish's investment business and packaged up all her knowledge and expertise and put it online into a business online to leverage her time. So Trish, you go ahead and talk about that.
I think that's a really interesting point that Chris raises about levels of excitement and when you actually, hi Joe, I didn't say hello, did I?
Okay.
So caught up in the conversation.
Levels of excitement, perfect timing.
It's interesting because when somebody's searching for something and when someone finds something and it resonates with them and they get completely excited about, connecting with it and taking it on board, it means a whole lot different to that person, to the person it being introduced to.
Yeah.
So Chris introduced it to me, but I wasn't sharing the level of excitement or passion because I wasn't the one searching at the time and I wasn't the one that found it and just stumbled across it and, embraced it. Yeah. And so it was a different journey for me initially. And I think it was really quick for Chris and I think it was a bit more slow and steady for me. I think the turning point was when Chris actually sat down, explained how we could parcel up all of that knowledge and those skills and experience and actually offer it to a global audience, offer it globally. The key to this was leveraging me. And over 6 months, we sort of set a bit of a target, and all we did for those 6 months of last year was focus on doing that, packaging my knowledge, skills, experiences, putting them into sort of an online platform, and then offering that to a global audience. And we made sure we did that before going to Brisbane, which was Momentum Day last year, and Platinum too. Platinum. Yeah. And so that we really had a project that we could present, that we could show and say, hey, with everything that SFM offer, with all of those tools and all of that training, this is what we've done.
In 6 months, rather than 2 years.
What was that, Joanne?
I said in 6 months rather than in 2 years.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Exactly. That's exactly right. And I agree with Chris. I think the tools and the trainings really targeted and more targeted to an entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
Rather than going to a traditional college and then paying money and getting a qualification or a certificate in IT.
Yeah.
It's not really targeting the purpose of what you're really searching for ultimately.
No, that's right. And the purpose of me initially just going for it was I could see that it was much more than what I would get in a qualification here in Australia. It seemed to offer a lot more support, a lot more. The training seemed to be like everything I'd always wanted to find out about, and what's relevant in today's world too. Like a lot of the times you might go through traditional education, but it's old knowledge, not new knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you have to go find someone else who can explain what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
SFM was just brilliant for that. It was just crazy good. And I'm just so fortunate that I've stumbled upon it, really.
I think that's what appealed to me, Joanne. I think that's what really appealed is the fact that you were receiving this training for people who were walking the talk, for people that were doing it, that were applying it, that were actually generating revenue from it, rather than a college lecturer or a teacher or a trainer from the front of the room that's not necessarily walking the talk. So I think that I really connected with that. Running a traditional business myself, I really like to learn from people that are doing it, that are experiencing the results, and that was what was really important for me.
Mm-hmm. As you guys spoke, there was two things that I guess really resonated with me or that I really pulled out, and it was the fact that when you do go traditional with college or university, the mindset is not entrepreneurial. The mindset is an employee mindset, and so I think you started there a little bit, Trish, and then Chris really brought it home where she was really happy to get the SFM because it was up to date, applicable, hands-on, right? And I think that's also what attracted me. I've read so many books about building wealth and about having success. And one of the key things they talk about is choosing the right mentor, right?
Yes.
The key thing about choosing the right mentor is choosing someone who's actually done what you want to do rather than just learn the theory. Because it's one thing to have the theory, it's another thing to have the actual know-how and experience. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think that's really, really crucial.
Spot on. Yeah.
So you guys have been with SFM for 18 months, eh?
Yeah.
Just a little bit about myself. I found SFM last year, November, and I was specifically searching for education again online, and I was more so focused on finding a mentor. And I came across, I actually already knew about SFM. I'm big on YouTube. I love going to YouTube to watch like book summaries or inspirational videos. So I had probably seen a few videos, so it was like probably subconsciously in my memory, but it wasn't, I was seeking, I hadn't really thought of them. And I started to compare different programs, and I saw Stuart's video. And what really attracted me to SFM is that there's a lot of different programs in terms of selling style. And for me, his style of how he presented himself, I wanted to be like that. And that's one of the key things for me in choosing a mentor, not only someone who's done it, but someone that I would like to be like when I am a success. I think I did a video on this on YouTube a while, I don't know, maybe a week or so ago, and I talked about myself being a introverted extrovert. So I enjoy helping people, but at the same time, I don't enjoy the hard sales. So if I find with the online structure, I am providing an answer. And with it being an attraction model, it to me, it's more my style and more my comfort because I'm attracting people who are actually looking for what I have to
Yes.
offer. I answer their questions and they make a decision. I came from a
Yes.
network marketing background and
Yeah.
I did cold calls. And it just didn't work for me. Not saying it doesn't work, it just didn't work for me because it wasn't
Yeah.
I didn't have the belief level in that technique. It wasn't my style, so it wasn't clicking with me. And I
Yeah.
find when I really looked at my results of my network marketing, it was this social selling where I would sort of put out a few posts or videos and then people would contact me. It was very manual, and that's why I
Yeah.
went to SFM because I'm like, I want to make this more automated to again leverage myself and kind of release my time. So anyway, yeah, I saw Stu's videos and loved his style. I went through the 7-day videos, and I'm someone like once I into something, I like do everything. So I went through every corner of the back office even before signing up, and any content I could consume, I consumed. And I wrote copious notes, and I got so much out of even this 7-day training. And then my consultant was Oliver. He was amazing. And I just told him I'm ready. I knew what I was looking for, and this is a real good fit for me. And I said yes, and then same as you, I went right the way through. I positioned myself DEA Black, and I am just, one of the things that Stuart talks about as his goal is that it's not only about building the skills and creating the wealth and living a lifestyle, but having like an authentic shift in your life and enjoying fulfillment.
Yes.
And I felt from day one, I've seen so much growth in myself. And as you said about being able to package your business, I mean, it just, my brain like lights up with all the different ways that I can apply what I'm learning in SFM. And then, what was it? Just recently, at the DA Black level, they just keep on giving more and more. So I know in other companies, if they do a course or whatever, you have to pay for it. And since I've been with SFM and DEA, I'm getting tons of new stuff, valuable stuff, certifications, private trainers, completely free being added to my package, not saying, oh, upgrade this, upgrade that. So that just blew me away. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so much incredible value from just not even the training, well, the training, but more than that, it's the people who support you and are willing to help you. And you only have to ask a question, and people are there to answer whatever it is if they can. They'll help you out, and the community itself is just incredible.
yeah, yeah.
I think what you said earlier was an incredibly valuable point, and it really resonated with me, is the fact that you were really attracted to the fact that there were mentors that were walking the talk, operating this program or operating the SFM system. And it is very true, because going back with my journey, I wanted to be an expert within the real estate investment business, okay? And so I traveled to find someone that was an expert within that industry. And, she'd reached a certain pinnacle in her career, building real estate to X amount of dollars. And I said to myself in my head, I want that, and I would like to be like that, and I would like to have the lifestyle that she has. And it's exactly what you said with Stu and SFM. You said to yourself, I want to be that, I want to have that lifestyle, and I want to
To
live.
be like him in that lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, so it's interesting because that really triggered something with me, because I did that all those years ago, back in 2006. And that was a huge turning point for me in my real estate investment business, because that propelled me. I found someone that, wow, okay, they know the pathway. Okay, they know how to get me from where I am now to where I want to be. And that is the key to this whole process. And I achieved that through finding the mentors and finding the training and finding the tools and finding the people. And so this does offer that in a very genuine, authentic way. And yeah. And I think if people now are really looking for something, and they're looking for a leadership in that something. Yeah. And I think people out there really just are fed up with their current existence.
Yeah. And fed up with some of the other options out there that aren't authentic, or, they get to the door and then there's very little support. And I mean, the one thing that I love, I have weekly calls with Mark Ford, and it's just, he opens the entire door in terms of his system, right? And just really a heart of service. And I see that throughout the leadership team. I have accountability, Louisa, who was the one who introduced me to the group when you guys got started.
Yeah.
And she had done a video or ad on Bing, I forgot what it was, and she'd used the hashtag that this other lady thought was hers. And so the lady messaged Louisa. Did you guys hear this story? The lady messaged Louisa telling her she couldn't use that hashtag, la la la. And Louisa, being relatively new online, was very apologetic because she didn't know, right? And so she posted it in our private Facebook group, just asking, just so she knew in the future what the parameters were. Yeah. And Carmen reached out almost immediately and said, let's get her on a call. I mean, and Carmen is how much further away? Like, they have so much success. But that's the kind of people that we're working with. And so she got on a call with Louisa. They spoke for like an hour or two. And, Louisa had every right to use that hashtag, right? Like, a hashtag. And she even gave Louisa tips on how to better target it. I think it was a Bing ad or something. Anyway, that was just those small things keep on reaffirming the decision that I've made, right? Yeah. So tell me a bit more. I am still to attend the Momentum Day. I'm excited that there's a Platinum branding workshop and Momentum Day soon to happen in my neck of the woods here in Toronto, about 5 hours away, but a lot closer than Australia or the UK. But you guys have already attended a couple of events. So tell me a bit about what I can expect.
Okay, so we've been to 2 Momentum Days and 1 Platinum workshop. The first Momentum Day was virtually straight after we started, and so we didn't have a clue what was going on, and we came away from that pretty pumped up.
Yeah, inspired,
it was very
actually.
inspired.
Yeah,
but then I don't know, we kind of lost our way, but we after a while, you walk away, you're so pumped up and you're so inspired that when things don't happen, you kind of feel like, oh, now what? And you just get back into the training and you focus on your goals and then you start off again. So
I think that first year for us was the learning.
Yeah.
That first year was the learning. We came out of that Momentum Day really inspired. We entered a 90-day challenge. That really got us onto good grounding for 2016. And then during that time, that was quite a powerful year because there was a lot of base stuff going on, a lot of foundational stuff going on.
Exactly. That's really where once Trish came back from the States that year, that's when we did all that work with her business. So
actually, the first half of that was the videoing.
Yeah, it was.
So the first half of that year was videoing my content, just video. So that was pretty amazing. I was learning so much from that. That was incredible, literally setting up with a tripod, a camera in my lounge room. And on my own, filming my content, my knowledge and everything, and putting it into
recording it. Yeah.
And then went to America, and then we weren't doing so much of the affiliate business model.
No, but we were using our knowledge that we'd learned in the training and applied it into this.
Yeah.
And then last year when we attended Platinum, man, that Yeah, that was
I've heard,
awesome.
I'm so excited. As soon as I heard it was coming to Toronto, I went in the back office and I signed up.
You're gonna love, yeah. That's I will be seeing you there because I'm coming to Momentum
Oh,
Day.
lovely, lovely, excited. Yeah. I want to touch a little bit about what you said, Chris, and the honesty that you shared about, you got from the momentum day and, you get so inspired and you have these goals, but when they don't happen the way you think it's going to happen, then you kind of almost like lose a little bit of your footing, as you said, and you're thinking, now what? And I can so totally relate because for me, as I said, when I start something, I jump like 100 to 200% in. And so literally from day one, I was avaricious was the right word, but I was just like consuming content, applying it. I jumped in and did the blogging challenge. I jumped in and do the 90-day video challenge. I was booking my mentorship calls. I did my meta story. And the 90-day period came up and I hadn't achieved the goals that I had set out. And again, it's like we have that shift and there was a period where, I don't know if it was full depression, but just like, what did I do wrong? You start questioning yourself. So I had that first 90 day and all the energy, all excitement, and really great guidance. And then I hit that stumbling block where the goals that I set out I didn't meet. When you think about it as a newbie, you don't really fully understand what really is possible, even though that might be possible. Just you're not really clear. And so it took me maybe a month before I really picked myself back up and kind of rewrote my plan and really got back in. And I just, whenever people share their story, in these kind of conversations, I always like to share the entire story because it's not all roses, right? There's stumbling blocks. And honestly, the stumbling blocks are the biggest learnings that I've had in my journey. And so I wanted to really touch on that and say that I've been through that. I could totally relate. Like you get involved, you get so excited and you push, like, wait a minute, I'm not quite there. Now what do I do?
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've had moments, little ups and downs, haven't we, throughout the journey? And I think that you just work your way through them. The advantage, I think, sometimes of working as a team, because Chris and I are working as a team, is the fact that you can support each other when one's down, the other one's up, and can boost the other and push the other person through. And then there is an advantage, I think, with that team collaboration approach. That is a good thing. Sometimes if you can find a partner or have a partner that can come on board, you share the costs and leverage the time, because I think the biggest aha for us working as a team was when we were doing our marketing blueprint and we had to write down our hours, what were we prepared to commit to. And we were going to do 2 hours of an evening and 10 hours on a Saturday. And that was our time dedicated to the business.
Wow.
And that was 20 hours per week, but then we timed that by 2. And that's when we had a bit of a light bulb moment. That's like 40 hours a week that we're actually spending on the business by putting that in. But I think that's a good thing about having a partner too, for those people that sometimes want to leverage their time or money to bring in extra capital, extra money. It's another way of leveraging too. So yeah.
Yeah, I find for myself where I was solo, the very first thing I did was get that accountability partner. Not necessarily to leverage the time, but the very first point you talked about, where sometimes you're down or you are not, you think you've hit a wall and you reach out to that other individual who's been on the same journey as you and who knows you, and they'll ask you that question or they'll make this statement, and then you're like, suddenly the field is opened up again and you can kind of keep going.
Yeah. Yes. Totally.
And so I think this is the importance of a community. So if you don't have a business partner, then having a community where somebody that you connect with and have that accountability partner with is just brilliant.
Yeah. And I love the fact, actually, one of the things that really also drew me to SFM was that most of the content was in video. As I said, I did check out some other communities, and it was all like blogs and then a few video conferencing over the week. And for me, I recognize that I'm a visual learner. And
Yes.
so I love the layout of our back office. I love all, like, the getting started videos were all video and then text, if you notice. And then even the additional libraries on all the other core subjects, it's primarily video. And so for me, that was a great fit because I'm a visual learner. While others may not be, maybe they're auditory and therefore blogs and reading blogs in their mind might work better for them. So.
Very
So
good.
you are coming to Momentum Day. Chris, you're going to come as well?
No, I'm staying here. I've got a grandchild due in a few weeks after that, so you just don't know in those cases. So I'm staying here just in case.
So close to the due date, you want to be available. I can appreciate that. Yeah. I have 3 boys of my own, and I live in Canada, but my mom and dad, I'm from Barbados. My mom and dad still live there, and every time I had a child, my parents or my sister or my aunt would come up and help me, and it just makes a world of a difference. So I can definitely relate. Yeah.
Sure. So how long have you been in Canada for?
A long time. I kind of don't want to 60 would think I'm very young, and then I tell them like I've been in Canada for a very long time. Like, what? So, I still get carded sometimes, which is like awesome. I have 3 kids and I get carded. I was doing this video on I did this video on YouTube about how to be a good video marketer, and I shared it in this group on Facebook, and this lady commented. She said, "How can you, this little pipsqueak of a teenager or whatever, tell me what to do about video marketing?" And I said, "Oh, you just made my day."
That's funny. That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm not a bestie. I'm a mom of 3 kids, and I'm in my late 30s, so you just made my day.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, so yeah, I came to Canada in '95 and did my university and everything here, and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
My sister and I stayed. My mom and dad couldn't find equivalent jobs, and they didn't want to give up what they had for a lower lifestyle or position. So they went back home, and we stayed up. We were of age to be on our own, and it worked out well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So what are the next steps for you guys, and how do you see, I love the group, our female leaders collaborating. I'm just curious how we can really make it work for us as did you make it to the call that they had for the female leaders for the
No,
I didn't make it either. It was an odd time.
It's an odd time for us too.
I think that's
the biggest what you see your next steps are.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge sometimes is just getting those time zones correct, because I know that when I'm filming Facebook Live, I have to now coordinate those times for the UK and the US, which
who you're trying to target.
Yeah, absolutely. So next steps for that group, Female Leaders Collaborating, I think that just to continually be that. In other words, ensure that they're just impacting women and ensuring that they're bringing new women on, I think.
And truly collaborating to move us forward.
I think that like the community is great, but this is for women leaders, and I think that we're learning from one another, and when you learn from one another you pick up new skills. So and also for any challenges that come up for women particularly, obviously, but just I think it's more about supporting and giving, just being there and learning more from other people. Like you learn more about being empathetic, or you learn, you know, other skills, personal skills, and I think that will really, you know, help us in the long run be better leaders.
I find as well, just hearing everybody else's story where there's some similarities and there's some differences, sometimes it can really put, like, I know I forget who it was, but it just puts it into perspective when you're having that day where you're a little bit off, that we all have had challenges, and some of the reasons why we are looking to free up our time and utilize digital economy and the online mode is because we want to conquer that next step in our lives, or go to the next level in our lives, right?
Yeah.
I think the sharing of the story, I think, is quite important. I think that's an important process for each individual, because it's really allowing each woman to connect and share things sometimes they've not always shared openly with others, and that's can be a big breakthrough for some.
Yeah, definitely.
That can be a big breakthrough, and I think that for women to be sharing their story is a really empowering thing for themselves, and I think for other women too, and it creates a connection.
Yes.
And support without really providing the support, if you know what I mean. Just that sharing of the story provides support. True. Yeah.
So you have fully packaged up your real estate business. Is there more work on that project in terms of a phase 2 that you're working on now? I also am a real estate investor, so I'd love to hear more about what you do there. So just really briefly share, you know, what's the website address, you know, that kind of
So it's usarealestatetraining.com, and that's the packaging and parceling up of my knowledge and offering the training at a really great price, really, because I'll explain to you as well the advantage to the business, because this is transferable to any business. When somebody would phone with an inquiry, they would, or email me, I would give them, say, 15 minutes of my time for free, 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes it would go a bit longer. There were no real parameters around it.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes your time with this, you know, phoning everybody up, it would be taken up, a lot of that time. And the first step for them was to have a one-on-one consultation with me for $795, and it would be 2 to 3 hours of my time. In that 2 to 3 hours, I would try to dump as much information on them because I wanted them to have as much information so they could go away and do their own due diligence, right, and go and do their research. But could you imagine trying to, and these are Australians that want to enter a US real estate market. You could imagine the gaps in knowledge and information. So in 2 to 3 hours, I would be
brain dumping
with everything. And honestly, I'd say to the end, now, do you have any questions? And they'd say, no.
Like, no. You can stop the whole now.
Bamboozle them with so much information that they were just either too scared to ask or whatever. And my conversion rate was really high, mind you, because they thought to themselves, oh my goodness, I can't do all that by myself. So it really highlighted a need in my business for a level before that. And that was to train and educate and give them the information before they got to me personally. So it's a $495 step, right? And they can go on in their leisure, in their time, to get all that information, write down the notes. We created workbooks with that situation. So they write down their questions as it comes up. Then when they get to me, we have it all there. Yeah. It was such a light bulb moment for us. It's really just highlighted that need for that area, for that education, for that training before they got to me, rather than just bombarding them with all that information. It was just madness, really. So
in that short time frame.
in 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. And then see the next level for them was the full on, yes, I want to move forward. Yes, I want to purchase. And then here's what we do. But that was like the highest level, but we needed something before that. So what it did to was reduce the amount of inquiries I got after the sale as well. Yeah. Yeah. So it reduced that as well. So it was very valuable, very valuable. Where to next? It's about paid marketing and paid advertising now, working out a marketing package or marketing blueprint now for that business, because now we've been focusing on building the affiliate side. And we've got that underway. We've got all the advertising out there. We know what we're doing. We're reaching targets now with that, which is incredible.
So we're ticking off. We're ticking the boxes now.
Yeah. So the automation now is starting to kick in with the affiliate side. So I can concentrate on doing some marketing now for buying USA real estate training. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Chris, are you very involved in still sort of supporting and marketing the real estate business that Trish has, or are you more so focused on the affiliate side?
No, we're both. We're partners in both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm very grateful that we got a chance to connect. I am definitely looking forward to meeting you, Trish.
I know. I'm excited.
In Toronto. Yeah. And I'm really excited about the Platinum branding workshop. I've only heard good things. And yeah, and I love that it's a small group, very intimate, very active as well. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
And yeah.
And you made some really great connections in that group. Because it's a small group, an intimate group, you'll make some really powerful connections with those people because you're going through that process together. It's really cool.
It's very powerful. It really is. Yeah. The connections you'll make will be incredible. It really will. How exciting.
I know. As I said, from day one, the shift in sort of the fulfillment and the quality of my life, I'm just really grateful. Yeah. So
us too.
Yeah. So I'll see you guys in the group. And June 7th or 9th or whatever is maybe 2 weeks away. So we can chat more. I can pick your brain more about your business. I'd love to hear more about that. Yes. And I pray that in the near future, Chris, that we get a chance to meet in person. And for your granddaughter or son on the way, I pray a quick and painless delivery. But quick is really what we want, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and that the mom and the baby and the entire family is healthy.
Thank you.
That's lovely. Yeah, that's beautiful.
All right.
All right. Pleasure.
Really, yes, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, lovely. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.